Hey everyone, it's Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of October 5th, 2025. I will begin with Aries, work my way around the zodiac wheel here, ending at Pisces. Each zodiac sign will have their own video. I've set the intention of this reading to be for your sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus placements, so you're welcome to look at any of them. If you're not sure what your placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Take a look at that site and then just come back here to the channel and watch the video of your choosing. Also keep in mind, this is a collective general reading. That means it is not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, don't get upset. Just means that one message is meant for someone else watching. So take what fits, how it fits, and leave what doesn't. With all of that said, let's begin. Hello, Taurus. Let's see, what is your tarot card for the week of October 5th, 2025? You have the Five of Pentacles. What situation in your life no longer holds value? I want to make sure my mic is on. It is. Okay. So it's a collective general reading. This could be a situation, environment, a connection, a thought process, a pattern within you. Let's see where we go with this message. Now, the tarot card of the week, Taurus, is meant to help all of us move along in our journey. Typically, the cards in this deck have a question on them. It's the Monica Louv deck. I think she only sells them on her website, but anyway. Each card in the deck has a question, and the question is meant for us to ponder and think about in order to help us move forward in our life. So like I was saying, so we don't get so stuck or stagnant. So tell me more about that Five of Pentacles. So there's something here this week that Source wants you to think about. What situations or environments or connections, or like I said, thought process or patterns in your life are just no longer serving you well or no longer have any value. One more shuffle here. Thank you. First card out, Taurus, we have the Hangman. There you go. There's your pondering. Followed by the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. I just love when all of the tarot cards come out and the message is so on point. Bottom of the deck, you have Temperance, you have Four of Swords, and you have Four of Cups. That leaves the Queen of Pentacles to you, whether you're masculine or feminine, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles to the Moon here at the bottom of the deck. So there is something here in your life. Again, situation, environment, connection. Could be a thought pattern that you have, like maybe thinking negative thoughts. It could be a dietary regimen. It could be an exercise program. There's something here that you've been doing for quite some time, or you've been invested in for quite some time, but it's not leaving you satisfied. Four of Cups to the Four of Swords. This is nothing new. You've been feeling this way about this for quite some time. You're not very happy with it. I think at some point the feeling I get here with that Temperance card, because Temperance is about patience, I think you stuck it out as long as you could with whatever or whomever this is, because the feeling was well, maybe eventually it'll turn around, right? Maybe eventually the job will get better. Maybe eventually the living situation will get better. Maybe eventually the relationship with this person will improve. That's the feeling here. I know it's Four of Swords and Four of Cups. It's stuck. It's stagnant. I feel a bit rejected or neglected or unwanted even. But I think if I give it enough time with the patience energy, that it'll come around. And I think what Source is trying to say to you this week, Taurus, is whatever or whomever this is, it's not turning around. It's not improving. And there's a need here for you to really go within and that Hangman energy, see it from all perspectives, and be very honest with yourself. This, again, whatever this is, you have been working towards it or for it or with it. You've been showing up every day in the Three of Pentacles energy, but it's not being reciprocated. And therefore, it's leaving you feeling depleted, whether that's emotional, psychological, financial, et cetera, et cetera. And that Queen of Swords is you really need to have an honest conversation with yourself, Taurus, something that you've been investing in for a long time, or someone. It's just no longer, I just heard it's no longer doing it for you. It's no longer doing it for you. I'm not quite sure if that's the right wording. It's just that it's no longer fruitful. It's no longer beneficial. It's the fruit tree that's no longer bearing fruit. Tell me more about the Hangman energy here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Death card, followed by the Six of Cups and the Chariot, bottom of the deck, the Lover. So it's a choice that you can make. You can continue to stay in this or stay with this person, or, continue this practice or this routine, or again, whatever this is for you. It's a collective general reading. But with that Six of Cups card, it's you've been doing this for quite some time. And the very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Showing up to work every day, putting in your all, trying to collaborate, and not getting the raises or promotions that you deserve. Not that you're walking in the work feeling entitled, but you deserve this. You're putting in the effort, and they're not treating you fairly, and there's no reciprocity. the source is just asking you, Taurus, is that really the type of job you want to continue showing up in? Don't you want to see what else is out there? Again, so, you know, God or whatever you want to call that higher being is never going to tell you quit your job on the spot, but don't you kind of want to explore and see what other financial opportunities are out there for you? And if this is a connection with anyone, like a friend or a family member or even a lover, it's asking you, Taurus, maybe it's time for you to realize that this connection is just not going to grow or not going to come back together or not going to be what it once was, or it's just not going to be what you thought it would be one day. And there's something here about letting go of the past. Chariot card would be moving on from the Six of Cups, something from your past. Death card, because you're being honest with yourself and saying it's over. There's no more growth here. It's time for me to make arrangements to move on from it. Again, Lover's card, though, is at the bottom of the deck, and that is the ultimate choice card in tarot. Long before it was, associated with love and romance, and some people say twin flame energy, although I've never seen the card that way. This is the ultimate choice card in tarot. You can stay with A or you can move on to B, is basically the message here. Queen of Swords. Source is asking you to be really honest with yourself, unemotional, not focused on the could have beens, focus on the facts, on the reality of this situation, environment, or connection. Let me get one more shuffle here for the Queen of Swords. Thank you. Queen of Swords is clarified by the Hierophant. That's you. The Two of Cups and the Three of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. Oh, I was hoping it wasn't going to be a connection-based reading, but it is. Now, look, connection-based reading could be anything. This could be with your employer, a manager, your neighbor, a friend, a family member, a colleague. It could very well be with a lover. You're going to have to take it how it resonates to you. But there's something here about you embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords and seeing this connection for what it truly is. And what it truly is heartbreak. It's heartbreak for you because in that Seven of Swords energy, Seven of Swords to justice, something was not fair or balanced. I think you showed up to the best of your ability. I don't believe this other individual did. And there's something here by you holding on to this, you're impeding your progress to move forward. You're blocking your ability to move on and find a better job or find a better friend or in time even find a better lover. Tell me about that Ten of Pentacles. Tell me about that Ten of Pentacles. One more shuffle here. Thank you. World card, which does speak about a completion here. World card, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Strength. So, Taurus, you know, at the end of the day, we all have the divine gift of free will. You can continue staying in whatever this is. I don't believe it will change. This seems to be something that you probably should have ended quite some time ago, possibly within the last year, maybe even up to the last 3 years. So that Three of Pentacles here is a timing card for me. So I think you've been clinging on to this longer than you should have. I think you should have let go of this sometime in the past. Now, maybe it was your loyalty or your dedication, or maybe just your stubbornness that kept you in whatever this is. But it's definitely time here to let it go. That Five of Pentacles is not going to turn into the Ten of Pentacles. Typically, the way I see the World card, and I'll make it brief for you because we're almost at the 8-minute mark. The way I see the World card in tarot, in the corners are the symbols for the 4 fixed signs. And I always look at this as 4 years of high school. For those of you not in America, in the United States of America, we typically go to high school for 4 years, somewhere between when we're 14 years old and we graduate around the time we're 18 years old. I always look at the World card as the 4 years of high school. Once the World card comes up in a reading, it tells me you have learned, you have gleaned all of the information that you could possibly have gleaned or learned from this situation, environment, or connection. It's graduation day. It's time to move on. You can repeat high school again. I don't think I know anyone who voluntarily wanted to repeat the 4 years of high school. But if you wanted to repeat those 4 years, because that Wheel of Fortune is here, you could put an end to this or you can repeat it. If you want to repeat the 4 years of high school, it's going to be exactly that. 4 more years of high school. You're not going to learn any new information. You're not going to do another 4 years in this and graduate with a doctorate or a master's. You know, it's still 4 years of high school. So there's something here that you have outgrown. I don't believe it has outgrown you. I feel like you have outgrown it. And I think Source is really trying to get your attention to it this week and say, this is your moment to move on from it, to find another living situation or find another job or end this connection with whomever or whatever this is. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of strength and courage for you to do this, but strength to the Empress, you have this. You have more power than maybe you even realize. You have more fortitude than maybe you even realize. So I think you are able to pull this off, Taurus, again, if you wanted to. You have the divine gift of free will. You don't have to leave behind whomever or whatever this is. I just know that energetically speaking, if you were to stay in whatever this is, it will not improve. And I hate to be the reader to tell you that, but it's what I'm feeling and sensing here. 10 of Wands to the Page of Cups. Yeah, it's going to be increasingly burdensome for you to give to this and to receive from it, because nothing will change here. Whatever this is, Taurus, you're going to be fine. You're the backbone of the zodiac, and I think you've got this. Again, this is not what's happening to you. This is something that you have the divine gift of free will this week to end and set yourself free from, so you can move on to bigger and better things. 10 cards of advice here for Taurus. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Emperor, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. Yeah, so your advice here is to make the judgment call, to see the truth, to be honest with yourself, to cut through any confusion or illusion or delusion or daydreams or fantasies that you had with whomever this is, that it was going to pan out or grow or come back together or something like that. Something here about you having a really honest conversation with yourself, Taurus, and saying, this is it. And I really should. And I feel another component to this for some of you is being honest with yourself and saying, I should have left this some time ago. I stayed in a little too long, and that's okay. You know, when I left my marriage, I thought to myself, realistically, I probably stayed in it 10 years longer than I should have. There have been jobs that I've had, and I've like, should have left that 6 months ago, or I should have left that a year ago. So I don't want you to be too hard on yourself for whatever this is, Taurus. We've all been there. I think you're going to make it through just fine, because like I said, you are the backbone of the zodiac, and it takes a long time for a Taurus to move, right? You tend to be very loyal until the end, usually when it's to your detriment. And I think that's what's happening here. I think you've stayed in something where there was blatant betrayal, right? We saw that Seven of Swords, a 10 of Swords. There's blatant betrayal. You're not getting the raises. You're not getting the promotion. You're not getting the respect. You're not getting the love offer. You're not getting the cooperation. You're not getting the reciprocity. So take this how it applies to you. Again, you can continue to stay in this, but Source is asking you this week for you to ask yourself, does whatever this is, if it doesn't get any better than what it is right now, do you still want to stay in it? And I think if you're honest with yourself, you're going to say no in that Five of Pentacles, and you'll make arrangements to move on from it. That's what I have for you, Taurus, for the week of October 5th, 2025. If you like that message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.